Hey guys, how's it going? This is Vitamin ZK's
Zuko.
and K Sizzle, and we're here to talk to you about Samus's custom special moves. Let's crack these customs, starting with the Dense Charge Shot. A charge shot with even more power, but at the expense of range and speed. So, just like it says, has less range and has less speed, but it does have more power. So it's better for killing and better for damage. And I really like it because it helps out with the frame traps. You can actually catch up to it after you shoot it when it comes to the fully charged one.
Just a big ball of death.
So you can run up to it.
Yeah, the priority on Samus's charge shot has always been extremely good, especially in this game. So just having this really slow projectile that's constantly, like, just puts fear in your enemies because it can, like, murder them.
You keep like running into it when I'm like trying to like.
Oh, I didn't know what you wanted.
Yeah. So you can definitely run into it, and if someone like wants to hide in your shield and stuff, you can jump over it, cross them up, do whatever you want. So definitely good for that regard, and it does good shield damage as well. So pretty good, a very good alternative if you don't like the normal one and tired of it, because it's always the same.
Yeah, on the opposite side is the melee charge shot, which it's kind of weird, honestly. It's just like this little pop.
Yeah, but this is not a projectile.
Yeah, so you can't reflect it, I guess.
You can charge it, but
it doesn't, like, the range isn't that good. Damage is okay. The knockback is whatever. It's like, for what it is, for the range you're losing, like, what I don't get what I'm gaining here is like the point I'm trying to make. Is the charge up time is kind of the same, maybe like a little shorter, but the range is just so poor. The knockback is also poor for what it does. I guess not poor, but the other charge shots can kill. So what is this giving me for less range, you know?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
even the shield damage is like very standard too.
Yeah,
so like, it's like getting hit with a normal.
If you know what this does, let
shot.
us know, because I don't know what this does, honestly.
Alright, so let's move on to the missiles. I have the Relentless Missile, which launches a slower, more persistent missile, and also the Super Missile decelerates after a bit. So you see, this is more persistent. It like really wants to follow you. It's very good at tracking, and this one slows down after a bit. So it's also very persistent there. It lingers there, so it's very good for covering spot dodges or general frame traps in that direction. So
these won't follow you if you go above them, past them. So
there are ways around it. You're not guaranteed to always be followed forever, but
it's a lot of space that's covered. The tracking isn't. It's very like good. You really have to respect it until you get like past her. If you're nowhere near her, then you're gonna have to like constantly be shielding and dealing with these. Because I mean, they last a while too. Like they're still going. And you know, they might not deal too much damage, but you're not trying to take damage for no reason. So it's like a mind game. You have to just like, or not like a mind game, like a minefield. You have to like find your way through it and eventually get over her head so that you can hit her. I think that wraps it up, right?
And
so I have the turbo missile, which stops for a little bit and then just goes insanely fast. Both versions do this. The normal version will kind of home in at the very beginning, like it'll look at them and then go in that direction.
Yeah, so it stops for that second where it's there, and it tracks where you are. So it'll come up and it'll like move up or down, you know. See? So it started off as moving up forward, and then it moved up. So during that second, it tries to track you. So I could be on the ledge and it'll go straight downwards, you know. And then the super missile, it doesn't do that. You can't change the angle, but it still moves really, really fast. So it's very good.
Really fast, like insanely. Blows up like not even a second later. The range is pretty good on it too. Pretty similar to the other one. It's just that it reaches its destination like right away instead of having to move across the entire stage for like literal seconds. So this is kind of cool. Not sure if it's better or not. But
the startup is a little bit slower, I noticed.
So you like lead it. It's like, oh, I know it's gonna go down, or I'm down, so let me jump up. So then you just avoid it, you know. So it's kind of linear, so it might not be too good, but
it's an alternative.
It's interesting. I like it.
So let's move on to the screw attack. So I had the screw rush. Spin forward through the air, launching opponents sideways. So they get launched sideways instead of going straight up. And as for me not coming in contact with anyone, this will just go in a diagonal up pattern and then pop up a little tiny bit. So gone are the days where I'd have to recover from up here, or from down there, and then this will be a lot better for this.
Yeah.
Obviously, with Battlefield helping me out here, it becomes a little better for that. But the vertical range is hurt a little bit, so be privy to that. But yeah, knocks him sideways. So if you definitely wanted to kill off the side, now you have an extra option to do that.
Okay.
And I think that covers that one.
Yeah, so I have the Apex Screw Attack, which I think is really, really, really good. Kind of similar to the normal one, except that it's slightly slower on startup, but the knockback is insane. It has a little bit of invincibility when she goes up, and it's just 2 hits, like 1-2. You can kind of angle it on the way down. Now, I think this could be problematic. Maybe not right now, because it's on Samus. Samus is considered kind of bad.
Let me dash attack you and use it out of shield.
Alright. Well, my bad. Again? Why aren't I getting it?
Yeah, so I tried the shield there. So that's a very good out of shield option. Especially since she does look like she still retains a little bit of invincibility in the beginning. But yeah, sorry for cutting you off.
Yeah, Samus isn't considered very good. So you can make the argument that, hey, maybe she needs something like this. But if you were to give this specific move to a better character, you might argue that this is way too good. Why would I want to fight a character with something like this, where I have to respect her or I die at a very low percent? I only have 50% rage. If I had more, it would kill earlier. If we were on these platforms, it would kill earlier. Like, it's... I don't know. It kills really early for no reason. But I think it's, like, just at, like, the border of, like, being banned. Just because... Why would we need to limit Samus of all characters?
But to be fair, any other, you give this to Villager, you'd go nuts. You'd be like, hell no, he's just up B and that's it. Like, I'm dead at 70%. So
yeah, it's
hard to call this one.
I don't know how I would say it. I'm honestly interested in what other people have to say about this custom.
Yeah.
I've always thought this was a very strong custom move. I don't see why a character should be given so much reward at a low percent, especially with rage. Just for up being, sending them to the blast zone. Recovery's pretty much the same. It's not like slow enough where it really matters.
Yeah. You're probably harder to punish because you're like a really hard. If you mess up, then you could be put in a really, really bad.
And the
position.
horizontal afterwards is like pretty good.
Yeah. Also, by the way, when I've been being hit all these times, I've been DIing it. This is without DI. So if I'm assuming you had the DI to the left or to the right or behind you, that way you live the longest. But it might be sending you straight up if you don't DI. So that be wary to that.
So this could be a problematic move. Not necessarily needing of a ban just yet.
Yeah, if I were to give it a judgment now, I would want Samus to keep it, just because I feel like Samus doesn't have too much going for her. And one of the biggest problems with Samus is she has trouble killing. She has good ways to rack up damage. She has very fast pummels, good grabs, and all that stuff. But yeah,
let us know what you think.
The part is lacking.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's hard to call.
It really
I want to
is.
know what other people have to say about this one. I would probably leave it legal for now and see what happens later. If it becomes a problematic move where people just use Samus and win because of this, then yeah. But we don't see that, so it's hard to call right now.
Alright, then let's move on to the final two, which are the bombs. So I have the slip bomb. Drop a bomb that can knock foes over, but does less damage. So this does less damage, but it can trip people. Now, you'd think that you can make this easy to combo off of, because they're going to be tripping, but remember that if you're near that bomb, you're going to go into that morph mode. So be wary to where they land and where they get hit, because otherwise your preemptive attack might be snuffed out by you going into morph mode. And then remember, she has a really slow roll, so you can't like roll and then like to defend yourself from your own bomb. So it's kind of weird, I want to say. But hey, if that's obviously the ground version. Like if I am using it in the air and it just falls, then if it lands and they're on the ground, then I can be able to get some cool stuff off of it. Like
Did you do that again?
Stay on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, so the air version still trips. But
Alright, I want to get hit by this while I'm airborne. I think it might like spike. Yeah, it spikes.
no,
So
it does. Okay. So
yeah,
we just learned
considering
something
it
there.
trips, that kind of makes sense. So if you do it off stage and I get hit by it, I might die. Maybe if I'm just like hanging on the ledge. Yeah. So that's actually kind of good.
Very, very good.
Considering her normal bombs don't really do anything for offense. They're more for just like tricking your opponent on how you land. So these kind of give you a trip, which is cool, and a spike, which is in my opinion even cooler. And I guess they would help with recovery as well. Maybe not as much, but they're definitely very good for like all around everything. I like this custom a lot.
Yeah, me too.
And I have the Mega Bomb, which is a very large bomb. I can only have one of these out at once, so even though I'm like able to move around a lot, like right afterwards, it's just gonna be one. Damage is okay. I don't know if this can kill. I don't think it can.
Yeah, it was
But
130.
the range is pretty good on this. Now if she shields it, there's not really gonna be a. She shields like the bomb itself. There's not gonna be an explosion. That was weird. I know it's happened before, but yeah, like that. So it can get eaten up, but shield damage is okay if it blows up. It's not great if it's just you know, eaten by the shield. Covering with it isn't really good. It's like okay, you still get the little bounce, but you know, you're kind of like dropping down with nothing after the first one.
Yeah, because you can only have one out.
Yeah, and you can't. You like go downward a little more, so you can't really use it too much on stage. You can drop one, slide away from it, camp behind it. Because like, if they don't go to like destroy it right away, then you have like a wall. You can kind of just camp them out for a little bit, set up another one, and they have to respect that like large blast zone that you just put there. So it's not that bad.
Yeah,
But
it has its
the
uses, but the slip
speed,
bomb.
you know, it's like yeah, slip bomb seems like the best one, in our opinion. But if we're wrong, let us know.
Yeah. So
we're just trying to find out like what's broken or what's not.
So yeah, I definitely like the dense charge shot. Big fan of frame traps, so being able to chase with that and it being slow to help you come up with some setups is pretty cool. Both of the missiles seem really cool. They both have their uses, one with speed, one with annoyance on the other opponent's part. Obviously the up B, leave that up to your interpretation. Please talk about that one in the comments, whether it be on Reddit or the video, because we definitely want to know more people's opinion on this, because it does seem really, really strong. And you know, this one is just an option if you want to kill off the side and a new trajectory to recover. And then we just talked about the bombs, and they're both pretty cool, except the slip bomb is definitely a lot cooler and has more uses. So hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time for the next video.
Later.